3 minutes ago, Senator Lindsey Graham asked FBI Director Kash Patel a question that hit the hearing room like a thunderclap. Not some rehearsed soundbite for the evening news. A genuine, no-escape question. The kind that leaves a witness with only two bad choices: lie under oath or confess something they fought tooth and nail to keep buried. Patel chose silence. 10 long seconds of absolute nothing. And in that dead air, everything we needed to know about Crossfire Hurricane, the FBI's pursuit of Donald Trump, and the real scale of the cover-up came rushing into view. If you're just joining, hit subscribe and turn on notifications right now. This exchange is about to flood every network, and you're getting the raw breakdown here first. No spin, no filter. Let me lay out the scene so you can feel it. Senate Judiciary Committee oversight hearing on FBI operations. The place was jammed, standing room only on a random Tuesday afternoon. Everyone sensed Graham had been quietly stacking the deck for months, gathering records, lining up prior testimony, building an airtight case. Today was the payoff. Kash Patel entered like he always does. Shoulders squared, suit crisp, that faint half-smirk of a guy who's testified before Congress 17 times and walked away untouched every single one. 3 lawyers at his flanks, 2 senior bureau liaisons in the row behind, thick briefing binder ready with pre-written deflections for anything Graham might throw. They weren't ready for what actually came. First 45 minutes, pure routine. Other senators lobbed questions on budgets, staffing levels, counter-terrorism efforts. Patel cruised through, smooth, measured, non-committal answers that ate clock without looking evasive. He checked his watch twice, probably already mentally ordering dinner. Then Graham took the floor. The shift was instant. That low hum of anticipation when everyone knows the real moment has arrived. Graham didn't lead with Crossfire Hurricane. He's a courtroom veteran. South Carolina prosecutor, through and through. He knows you don't open with your knockout punch. You build the setup. Director Patel, he began, voice even and almost collegial, walk me through the standard FBI threshold for launching a counterintelligence investigation. Patel eased back slightly. Safe ground. Senator, we adhere strictly to Attorney General guidelines. We need predicate. Articulable facts suggesting a possible national security threat before any formal investigation begins. Good, Graham nodded, flipping a page in his notes. And those articulable facts, they have to be verified before you start surveilling American citizens? Verified to the extent possible in the intelligence context. Verified to the extent possible, Graham echoed slowly. He lifted a document, angled it for the cameras. This is the opening authorization for Crossfire Hurricane, July 31st, 2016. Tell me, what verified articulable facts justified opening a counterintelligence probe into a presidential campaign? Patel's posture stiffened just a fraction. Senator, I wasn't at the Bureau in 2016, so I can't speak to the specific. I'm not asking about deliberations. Graham's tone sharpened. I'm asking about facts. What facts justified this? The room went still. Not polite waiting, thick, expectant quiet, where every person knows the next words matter. Senator, the Inspector General's report addressed many of these issues and found that while there were problems, the opening fell within Bureau guidelines. Within guidelines, Graham repeated, a thin smile that held no warmth. I've read that IG report 17 times. It says the opening met the low bar to start an investigation. It does not say the predicate was verified. It does not say the facts were solid. There's a difference between technically allowed and actually justified. Wouldn't you agree? Patel shifted in his chair. Senator, that's a distinction without a difference when national security threats are involved. Wrong move. Graham's eyes lit up. He'd just been handed the opening. Distinction without a difference. He opened a red folder, drew a stack. Let me read you something. Page 407 of the Crossfire Hurricane case file. Declassified last month. Opening predicate. Information received from friendly foreign intelligence service regarding alleged contact between Trump campaign advisor and Russian officials. He looked up. That's the entire predicate. No verification of the foreign intel. No independent corroboration. No assessment of source credibility. Just raw, unverified reporting from overseas. And on that alone, the FBI launched an investigation into an American presidential campaign. He leaned forward. Does that sound like verified, articulable facts to you, Director Patel? Patel's jaw locked, hands pressed flat to the table. Senator, Foreign intelligence often serves as the starting point for counterintelligence work. We can't always verify before acting when the stakes are this high. But you didn't even try. Graham's voice rose, not shouting but firm. You didn't interview the source. You didn't weigh the context. You opened the case and went straight to surveillance. And here's what really troubles me. Another document. Internal FBI memo, August 15, 2016. 2 weeks after Crossfire Hurricane launched. From the lead agent to the supervising special agent. He read, "We are unable to corroborate the initial predicate intelligence. All attempts to verify the alleged contact have produced negative results. Subject appears to have no direct ties to Russian intelligence services. Recommendation: close investigation due to lack of substantive evidence." Graham set it down deliberately. 2 weeks in, your own agents were already recommending closure. Instead of shutting it down, someone escalated, expanded the scope, added targets, launched FISA surveillance. He pointed straight at Patel. Why? Patel had paled noticeably. "Senator, I wasn't involved in those decisions, and I can't speak to..." Can't speak to it? Graham gave a short, sharp laugh. "Director, you've spent the last 3 years publicly defending Crossfire Hurricane. You've called it a legitimate counterintelligence operation in every interview. And now, faced with your own bureau's internal records, you can't speak to it?" Graham reached for one last item, a sheet in a clear protective sleeve. "Director Patel, do you recognize this signature?" He held it high for the cameras. Patel stared, recognition flashing, then calculation, then something close to dread. "That's your signature, isn't it?" On an internal FBI memo, March 2023, 7 years after Crossfire Hurricane started, directing the Classification Review Board to keep the highest possible restrictions on all Crossfire Hurricane materials pending ongoing review. He leaned in. "Ongoing review of what, Director? The investigation ended long ago. Everyone involved has been fired or resigned. So what exactly are you still reviewing? And why fight so hard to keep these documents locked away?" 10 seconds. Pure silence. I timed it. 10 seconds of Kash Patel frozen. No words, no deflection, no escape. His lawyer sat mute. Prepared lines useless. Graham eased back. "Let me tell you what I believe. Crossfire Hurricane stands as the most disgraceful chapter in FBI history. Not because of intelligence mistakes, but because it was a deliberate, calculated weaponization of America's top law enforcement agency against a presidential candidate, then a sitting president." He stacked his papers methodically. "The predicate was flimsy from hour one, and people knew it. When agents recommended closure, a political decision kept it alive. FISA warrants rested on opposition research the Bureau knew was unverified. And right now, you're still trying to bury the evidence. Because if the public saw what's really in those files, they'd understand exactly how corrupt this operation was." Patel opened his mouth. No sound. Graham delivered the final blow. "My question, the one I need answered under oath, on camera, for the record. Did the FBI have any verified evidence, any real proof, that Donald Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia when you opened Crossfire Hurricane? Yes or no?" Another silence. Longer, 15, maybe 20 seconds. "Senator, that's a complex question requiring context about intelligence methodologies. It's a yes or no question, Director. Did you have proof?" Patel glanced at his lawyers, at the aides behind him, down at his hands. Then quietly, "Nothing." Graham let the word hang. "Your silence is answer enough." He rose. "This committee will issue subpoenas for every remaining classified Crossfire Hurricane document. We'll demand testimony from every FBI official involved. And we'll uncover why the Bureau spent years investigating a president based on intelligence your own agents called worthless. The American people deserve the truth, not talking points, not, we can't comment on classified matters." The truth. And Director Patel, your refusal to answer today has told us precisely how explosive that truth must be. The hearing dragged on. Questions about counterterrorism, budget gaps. No one was listening. All anyone could focus on was that silence. The endless, damning quiet when an FBI director couldn't say under oath that his agency had evidence for the investigation that dominated American politics for 3 years. Clips exploded within minutes. Twitter lit up. Cable news broke in. Legal analysts debated whether Patel had just confessed to a cover-up by staying mute. Oh, this is bigger than most headlines you'll see today. For years, we've been told Crossfire Hurricane was a proper counterintelligence effort, that the FBI had solid grounds to target Trump. Today, under oath, a director couldn't say they had evidence, couldn't defend the predicate, couldn't explain why documents remain locked. That silence is an admission. It's the sound of someone who knows the facts are devastating and can't risk saying them aloud. Graham called it the most disgraceful episode in FBI history. Patel couldn't contradict him, couldn't defend it, couldn't even try. What's next? Graham's subpoenas are coming within 30 days. He's pushing for closed session testimony from the Classification Review Board. Will it happen? Washington buries scandals like few places can. News cycles spin fast, but this moment, this clip of Kash Patel going silent when asked if the FBI had evidence, won't vanish. It's the kind of footage that defines legacies, fuels campaigns, and reminds historians how trust in institutions erodes. Graham asked the question that slices through every layer of spin, the one that forces a choice: defend the indefensible or admit through silence there's no defense. Patel chose silence. 3 minutes. That's all it took for Lindsey Graham to rip open the wound. 3 minutes to expose the hollowness at the heart of Crossfire Hurricane. 3 minutes to ask the question no one else had the stomach for. And Patel? He sat there. No answer, no refuge. Nowhere left to run. The silence in that room was deafening. Now the whole country is listening. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell. Share this. This story is far from over, and I'll be here for every step. Unfiltered. No holding back. The truth is coming. One hearing, one document, one damning silence at a time.